everybody. Hello. Welcome to this week's Principal's Office. I am so glad to see you. For those of you who don't know me or just seeing or hearing me from the first time, my name is Jamal Maxim. I'm an igniter of champion leaders, and I specifically help those kingdom focused educators step into leadership and do it in a way that they can stay true to who they are and bring God's solution to the district and the schools they serve. And so tonight I want to talk about a few things in terms of dealing with toxic leadership. Now, at the time of this recording, it is the day after a school shooting, a major school shooting in Texas. And so I am not insensitive to that. In fact, the entire education community is hurting because we all identify with what happened, and we all feel like it could have been any school. And so I am sensitive to that fact. And while I know it's important to process as a leader what happened and how we should respond as leaders and to make sure we're okay so that we can help other people be okay, I also am sensitive to the families of those who were victims, and continuously hearing people talk about it, it could make the process harder for them as they grieve and deal with the reality of what happened. And so I'm not gonna, even though I would like to address it tonight, I'm not going to. I have been in other spaces on other apps where I have live interaction with people that's not recorded, where we process and talk. So, I'll keep you posted when I do that again on Clubhouse, where we can have that interaction. And so today I'm going to stick with what I originally scheduled, which is dealing with toxic leadership. Because in our leadership journey, when you step into places of influence, you will have people that you actually have to report to. And so when you are reporting to other people, you have to deal with the fact that your direct supervisor may engage in toxic leadership. And so toxic leadership stems from a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they have their own issues that they're dealing with, issues within their soul, insecurities, and so they begin to take that out on you, or they feel like they have to be the guru leader, or they have to be the hero and know it all, or they are afraid that someone is going to outshine them in terms of their leadership, and people are going to view you as a better leader than them. There are a lot of different reasons why someone will engage in toxic leadership, and there are a lot of different things they do while they are operating from that place to make it harder for you to lead and to do what God has called you to do as a school leader. Now, I am a person of faith, and so you will hear me share my faith, because I would tell you in my history as a school leader, a lot of the things that I was able to do successfully in turning around schools and implementing change came as a result of my relationship with God. And so I'm not shy about it. There are some people that talk about leading from your soul and doing all of those kind of things. And so I choose to lead from the Spirit of God instead of my soul, because my soul doesn't know anything. And so so going back to the subject. When you are dealing with a toxic leader, it could be a superintendent, assistant superintendent. It could be a principal because you're serving as an AP. Or if you are not in a leadership position, you are a person of influence, and you have these principals trying to squelch your leadership. And so here's the thing. When they begin to engage in that kind of leadership towards you or behavior towards you, is because they are dealing with their own soul issues, what comes out in how they treat you as well as other people in the building. That insecurity that they feel, they will try to push off on you. And one of the things I recognize that I'm going to focus on specifically in these couple of minutes is doubt. They will treat you in such a way where you will feel like if you made a mistake stepping into leadership, or you will begin to doubt your own leadership and doubt if you have the ability to lead, and even get into trying to fit into someone's definition of leadership. those things are dangerous to do in terms of you as a leader. Because when you start, or if you start to deal with doubt, you will doubt yourself and doubt your effectiveness. Now, the problem with that is you can't lead from a place of faith and hope and encourage those you are leading if you are doubting yourself. You can't keep people motivated, and you can't really help them know that things are going to be okay if you're dealing with doubt. And so, one of the things I want to tell you is that that is a trick of the motivation behind a toxic leader, is to cause you to doubt yourself and small up your leadership and your influence. And so here's the thing about doubt. Doubt is a limitation that is planted in the hearts of people to cause them to shrink back from what God is inviting them into. Doubt is a delayer of purposes and destiny. It stifles the exercising of faith. It stifles the use of your gifts and talents, minimizes your impact, and causes many people to miss the timing of God. And so, as you are leading in your school, if you start buying into these doubt that comes as a result of a toxic leader, is going to cause you to miss what you are there for. Because as a leader with a kingdom perspective, you are there on an assignment in order to make things better. You are there to bring change. You are there to implement the change that will cause the school and the district to be better. You are there to heal a broken system that is consistently breaking people. And so if you allow yourself to be filled with doubt, you will miss the assignment totally, and you will shrink back from that level of influence that you have been invited into and really called into. And so you guys know that if you've been listening to me for any point in time, I talk about hope-based leadership. Now, hope-based leadership is this. It's solutions oriented, and it's the alignment of your positive expectations. It's the alignment of those expectations with strategy and your words. So it's not just you hoping for something to get better, or expecting it to get better alone. When you are talking about really engaging in hope-based leadership, you have the expectation, but then you also put your expectation to strategy. And then with that strategy and expectation, you begin to cast vision with your words, and then align your words to make sure that they are always positive, that they are words of life and words of hope, as you begin to implement the strategy that you have. Now, so when you are dealing with doubt, it's hard to engage in hope-based leadership. And so here is the one thing I would tell you to do. When you are doubting yourself as a leader, or if you are doubting yourself as a leader, if you are doubting your ability to lead, if you are doubting, your skill set, or anything that you are doing in the setting as you are leading and being a person of influence, and you're doubting even your past decisions, and you're starting to live in that place of maybe I shoulda, maybe I shoulda, maybe I shoulda, I'm going to tell you this. Number one, don't live there. Because yes, hindsight is 2020, and yes, there were multiple things you probably could have done in the moment, but you made the best decision possible with the information that you had. So move on. Don't think, oh, I made a mistake and maybe I should not have. Even if you did make a mistake, move on. Okay. And so now the second thing is this: you have to do a declaration. Now, I don't believe in affirmation. I believe in declaration, which is different. When you make a declaration, it has more power to it, because you're not speaking your own words. You're speaking words of life over yourself and regarding your leadership, and you are speaking words from God. And so in order to overcome doubt, you have to speak words. And the problem is, a lot of people try to deal with doubt mentally. They try to deal with it in their minds and say, oh, maybe, you try to positively think your way out of doubt. There is no way to think positive enough to get yourself out of a place where you're feeling doubtful because of some toxic leader who's been speaking things to you and about you and doing things that make you feel like you're not a good leader. There's not an amount of thinking that would get you out of that. The only thing that will get you out of that is your words that you say to yourself and about yourself. You don't have to say it to other people. You have to say it to yourself out loud. So the best way to deal with thoughts is with a declaration. Now, because I would tell you, I was in a season where I began to doubt my own leadership, and it felt like I couldn't lead. It felt like I wasn't really a leader. It felt like I was just doing what I was told to do. I felt like a puppet on a string and not really able to make decisions because the leader above me at the time, my supervisor at the time, didn't really want to let me lead, or wanted to, and that leader wanted to but didn't at the same time. And so I questioned my leadership. I questioned if I should have been in leadership. I even thought about going back to the classroom. But then I recognized that no, I am the leader for this position, and their issue is their issue. And I'm not going to allow them to speak words that cause me to doubt myself. And so what I did was I began to speak words over myself, and that what the Bible says about me and about my leadership. And I began to declare those things every day before I went to work. Every time those doubtful thoughts came to my mind, I would say them out loud to myself and just reaffirm who I am as a leader. And that's why I'm encouraging you to do it, because you have 7 seconds. Science proves that you have 7 seconds to deal with a negative thought. So every time those doubtful thoughts come, you have 7 seconds to speak words of life over it before it becomes a part of your brain and attaches itself in your brain cell. And so that's one of the things that you can do when you're dealing with a toxic leader who keeps trying to plant those seeds of doubt in you, because their toxicity will be a poison to themselves and a poison to the environment, and would try to even poison you. And so you have to keep yourself in the posture and position of leading healthy and leading in a place of hope, so that you can help the people you are serving through your leadership stay in a hopeful place and not be impacted by that toxicity. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. Those of you who are watching the replay or are joining me live, I really appreciate it. Remember to comment, like, and share this video if it is helping you in your leadership as you are leading from a kingdom perspective. And remember, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me you can connect with me by joining my mailing list, or you can send me an email directly. Right now, enrollment is open for a program that I have, a mentorship program called the Leadership Accelerator. The Leadership Accelerator is designed to help you move from your position of leadership where you are and into a greater level of influence. And so that enrollment is open right now. I'm going to put the information on the screen. So I want you to go to jamalmaxim.org/LA to enroll in the Leadership Accelerator, because we are starting right now. And if you have questions about it, you could just feel free to email me and I will respond to you directly. But I want to make sure that you are ignited to lead and to overcome the challenges that come with being a facilitator of change. The criticism, the toxic leadership, the seeds of doubt that would try to come, the way that people would try to manipulate you and make you feel like you have to perform to get them to like you, the control that people would try to have over you that know nothing about leadership. I want you to be equipped and ignited to lead like a champion, to overcome those challenges as you bring change into the district and make the school and district exactly what it's supposed to be as you become that facilitator and that influencer. And so reach out to me, enroll in the Leadership Accelerator. I'll be honored to accelerate your leadership and to help you step more fully into who you are as a leader. All right, that's it for this week. I want you to be successful, and I want you to lead like a champion. And don't forget, join me tonight in the Igniting Champion Leaders Club on Clubhouse for live interaction, live coaching about kingdom leadership, as we talk about what to do with toxic leaders and when they're trying to plant seeds of doubt. We're going to dig deeper into this content. All right, so I'll see you tonight. Again, be successful and lead like a champion. Bye-bye.